Ringing up Graeme Kenna.
This is the voicemail of Graeme Kenna from the Legal Department for Adult Services in Bradford Council. Please leave a message and I will get back to you.
After you've finished your message, just hang up. Or to hear more options, please press 1.
Yes, hello, Mr. Kenna. It's Mr. Hussain here. Once again, leaving yourself another daily message. Today is, it's been now 294 days that you've kidnapped my brother from my care, from a care home that I was operating, providing with care, and I have no idea what kind of situation he's been presently held in. All I've asked in return from yourself is just to tell me what legal framework that you've used to take my brother from my care, deprive him of his liberty, change his home correspondent address. I mean, how is this not kidnapping? How have you not just kidnapped my brother and put him into an institution which you control, namely the care home, which is obviously under your instructions and dictates? I need to know I need to be able to see my brother. That's his basic human rights. I take note that you didn't let me see my own mother for the last 334 days of her life, while you chose to end her life prematurely without then carrying out a coroner's report of exactly how she died. Clearly, you gave her a vaccine to end her life, and it all kind of messed up then. And now we're in the same situation. We're in the same boat once again, where you are looking to act with dominance and control, but you can't do your jobs properly. And here I am left to languish and leaving daily voice messages, when you know the fact that you've simply commissioned the services of the judge in the county court case in order to railroad an agenda and narrative to your objective to make us homeless, and then further targeting and harassing us through council tax while refusing to speak to me directly. You need to liaise with me directly to let me know what's happening with the money that you've taken from my home previously. I believe it was over £1,000 which you've accepted, which you're refusing to engage with me on. You've taken the safe from my bedroom. You've taken gold coins from there. You've taken my mother's jewelry and my sister's jewelry. What's happening with all this stuff? You're just simply refusing to engage with me, and you're saying, well, we don't need to engage with you, Mr. Hussain, because we're using public money, council payer money, ratepayer money, government funds in order to buy off judges and the judiciary and pervert the institution of justice and pervert the Ministry of Justice in order to acquiesce to our dictates and demands, so that you control everything. You control the judges, the courts, the solicitors, the barristers, but more importantly, you control all the other institutions, the NHS, the Department of Work and Pensions, the Public Guardianship Office, the Information Commissioner's Office, the courts and tribunals. They're all controlled by you, innit? Because you all work collectively. You give this impression that you work independently, but the reality is that they all work for you. You even get my own solicitors to work for you. I take the case of Burke Niazi solicitors, where you had clearly been working and colluding and conspiring with the solicitor in order to achieve your objective to kidnap my mother, to dissipate her money. It's all because you want to safeguard your own criminal conviction, which is falling apart, considering both my mother and my brother had signed over lasting powers of attorney in my favour, which is then making your criminal conviction unsafe. This is all the actions you are doing are not to safeguard my brother or to act in the best interest of my brother, but they're all to safeguard your own contrived, falsified criminal conviction against me. We are here several decades later. You're not able to do your jobs properly. I want to be able to see my brother. My sister needs to be able to see her mother, her brother. We also need to know how you locked my sister's bank account. This is another issue that you've raised in January. You've locked my sister's bank account so she no longer has access to her benefit money. My sister in Oldham does not have access to any GP services because you've blacklisted her, and you're basically blacklisting anybody that's associated with me. This is how you operate. You look to socially isolate people so you can continue to do acts of villainy and tyranny against them. I'm simply asking you right now to tell me exactly what law or legal framework that you used to take my brother in the manner that you have done. I mean, how can I be neglecting him now when I was living with him, whilst previously you, the local authority, had kicked us out of the house, and I was caring for him, forced to care for him in Oldham, while you still had a duty of care, and he was discharged from the practice from Dr. Dixon, discharged back until he was no longer a patient, but you kept on this charade up so you can maintain your lies and deceptions and falsehoods, so you can continue to peddle your narrative of being egalitarian. I'm once again asking you, and I'm going to continue to leave you a daily message to ask you, where exactly is my brother? Why is he in that situation? And what legal framework you've used to take my brother in the manner that you have done so? Your refusal to engage with me is costing you, the local authority, now £1 million a day. A daily £1 million charge is being levelled against you. Just like you're levelling council tax liabilities against me, I'm levelling charges against you for your clear systemic violations and duty of care. It is your negligence that has resulted in this. It's your systemic failures of mismanagement of public money that's resulted in this. And just like the post office scandal, and just like the present DWP scandal on carers is receiving public attention, it's always your own faults that you look to safeguard, your own faults that you look to safeguard, and your own failures you look to export out to easy victims such as myself, victimizing us so you can maintain your position of authority and power and dominance over us. I'm once again asking Mr. Kenna, as the local authorities legal representative, to explain to me exactly what legal framework you've used to abduct my brother presently, and previously my mother, and how she has died, and also regarding the money and the finances, simply cowering behind your post and position, and blaming me is simply not acceptable. I'm urging you to get in touch with us so I can have a clarity of understanding. I simply want to know the simple answer of how you've taken my brother and what his legal rights are presently, because presently he's been detained by you without an ability to raise a complaint or to say or have contact with his family, without his ability to leave the premises. What legally allows you to detain him in a care home of your choosing, which you operate or have proxy agency over, against my brother's wishes? This is a clear violation of his fundamental human rights, as were previous violations against all my siblings and against my other brother and mother and father. I urge you to get in touch with me to let me know where my brother is, and how best we can proceed forward now that you've kidnapped him. But most importantly, I just simply want to know what legal framework you've used to take him, because you can't take him under the my understanding is there's no legal framework. It's just pure gangsterism, threats of imprisonment and threats to my own personal safety, that's allowed you to do all this stuff. You're looking to bully and intimidate me whilst detaining my brother, whilst equally committing acts of villainy and tyranny against us. Why don't you speak to us? Why don't you want clarity, understanding? All you want is power and control, and you could end the situation by simply talking to me and looking to rectify the situation. But that's not what your aims are. Your aims are simply to perpetuate the situation which is presently in your own benefit, and to me and my brother's and my family's detriment. I urge you to contact me ASAP, Mr. Kenna. Thank you very much.
You're approaching the maximum allowed time for recording a message. If you wish to record further, please choose the append option from the menu. If you've finished recording, just hang up. If you don't...
Hang up.